Hi Cancer, welcome to your love reading for January 2020. You did have one jumping card. Let me show you what it is. And it is the 10 of Cups. Now when this card jumped, I did hear the words tears, overjoyed, complete. Some of you, those who are single, you could be meeting the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with the month of January. But for those of you who are already coupled or you're married, this can be that you're overcoming any problems that you've been having in your relationship and your marriage. I did hear that there is a lot of happiness coming to you in the month of January. So let's go ahead, put this back in, and let's see what comes up for you for the month of January. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January 2020. Ace of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. The Hermit. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. The Emperor. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. Page of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. The Hangman. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. Five of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. The Magician. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. The Chariot. Love reading for the sign of Cancer for January. And the Queen of Swords. What's the most important thing that Cancer needs to hear about their love life for January 2020? The message that you have, Cancer. Nice. You have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is new beginnings. Perhaps for those of you who are single, new people coming into your life, a new love interest. If you're already coupled, this is just maybe a new beginning in an existing relationship. This is a lot of happiness and blessing. So let's come back to this card in a minute and see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's start at the top. And if you would like a private reading with me, I'll put a link below to my website, channelguidance.com. Okay, so you have the Ace of Swords, the Hermit, and the Emperor. So I definitely see for the sign of Cancer, there is a lot of thinking going on. With the Ace of Swords and the Hermit, it's like someone is searching for the truth here. Like what is really going on in a relationship. I'm already looking at the second row because all of these cards kind of have something in common. Ace of Swords, the Hermit, the Page of Pentacles. Someone is looking at a relationship or a marriage very carefully to see like what's really going on. How do I really feel? Do I want to stay in this relationship? I mean, you have the Ace of Swords. Let's just start here. With the Ace of Swords, I see somebody kind of really, trying to really see the whole perspective of what has happened in a relationship or a marriage. This is truth and clarity. Somebody needs a new perspective on what is happening in their relationship. And someone is doing a lot of thinking with the Hermit. This can also represent the sign of Virgo, but this is someone who's soul searching for the truth. Like, how do I really feel about this person? Do I want to stay married to this person? Do I truly love this person? And I feel like this could be you, Cancer. Because you have the Emperor here, which to me, this is a card of empowerment. This is saying like, take charge, take control of your love life. Because you also have the Magician down here, which I'm going to get to in a minute. So you actually have the Emperor and the Magician. This is telling you that you have more power over what's going on in your love life than you know. And I feel like it's a sign of Cancer who has to make a decision. Some of you may need clarity as far as, do you truly want to stay with the person that you're with? How do you really feel about them? Like, you have to take control of what's happening here. This also can represent stability. Like, there's not going to be any stability until you really see the truth, because both of these cards represent the truth. Like, what is the truth? Of course, it can also apply to the person you're with. If for you, like, who you're, who you love, who you want to be with. It could be that there's a lot of soul searching about you and, how somebody truly feels about you. Now, if you look at this next row, Page of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Five of Wands. It's like there is some conflict here. Like somebody, with the Page of Pentacles, somebody is looking at a relationship, and they're at a loss. Like, there is this energy of being stuck, of being in limbo, not moving forward. And there could definitely be a relationship where things are not moving forward. Like you've hit a dead end. There's really no movement in the relationship because someone just doesn't know. They flat out just don't know how they feel about you. And we have the Five of Wands here. For some of you, this can definitely be a rival. That's not going to apply to everyone. But it can also be the sign of Cancer has met someone new. Because you do have the Ace of Pentacles here. Like there is like a new person, a new beginning. But not for everyone. I do feel like for some Cancers, like you may be kind of struggling because you're trying to decide between maybe the person that you're with and somebody new. But for others, someone is just kind of struggling to see the truth. Like, how do I really feel? Do I really want to continue this relationship? And somebody is struggling. The Five of Wands represents, an inner struggle, a battle. Someone is conflicted. And so a relationship is just not moving forward. Like, you feel like you just hit a dead end. Now we look at this bottom row. You've got the Magician, the Chariot, and the Queen of Swords. So the Chariot does represent the sign of Cancer, but it also represents movement, which is ironic because right above it, you have a card of being stuck, being in limbo, not moving forward. So there is movement coming for the sign of Cancer in your love life. This also is a sense of victory. You've beat the odds. Your relationship has moved forward. Again, you have more power over this than you know. You have the Magician. This is telling you that you have a lot of manifestation powers when it comes to maybe meeting somebody new or healing an existing relationship, moving forward, because that's what we see here. For some of you, this can be with an air sign, because we have the Queen of Swords, which would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. It can even be, again, I feel like for some of you, this can be somebody new, because you do have the Ace of Pentacles here. It can be somebody new. I know for me, the King and the Queen of Swords, because I'm also a Cancer, had been coming up for years, and I kept thinking, like, I don't know anyone who's an air sign. I do now. So for some of you, this can be somebody new coming into your life. But for others, it can be your partner. It can be an ex. It can also just be someone who needs to kind of be in touch with their own emotions. So this is someone who has been hurt and who's very cold-hearted and is not really kind of paying attention to what they're truly feeling. That could be keeping a relationship in limbo. Okay, let's get a few more. Let's see what else comes up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Cancer for January 2020? Three of Swords. Six of Cups. And Judgment. Interesting. So, we have the Three of Swords, which is the breakup card, the divorce card here. And then we have this energy from the past. Like someone is doing a lot of thinking, a lot of reminiscing about the past. It could be that you're missing an ex. We are going to do the ex spread next. Or you could be looking at maybe an ex-husband, an ex-wife, a lot of thinking and maybe missing this person. This also is a soulmate energy. Guess what? You have a new beginning here. The Judgment is a second chance to be happy, a second chance for a relationship surviving, a relationship coming back to life. I do feel like there's still a lot of heartache here. For some of you, this can be definitely, about an ex situation where someone just doesn't know. I don't know if it's a sign of Cancer because this is a general reading. Like, you don't know if you want somebody back, or this person maybe needs clarity about you. Like, maybe they've asked you for some time, because we see clarity and thinking here, here, and here. Like, there's someone who's doing a lot of thinking about what they want from a relationship. And there's not much happening because someone is stuck. They're in limbo. And they're also feeling very conflicted. But there's a need to take charge. You have the Emperor and the Magician. It could also be that Cancer needs to put their foot down and say, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not waiting for you to make up your mind. But for others, there can definitely be somebody new coming in with the Queen of Swords here. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Okay, let's get a few more in the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Cancer for January 2020? You've got the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, so this is a repeat card, and the Ace of Wands. What's the most important thing that Cancer needs to hear about their love life for January 2020? The Star. So this can definitely represent the sign of Aquarius, but more than likely, these are your hopes and wishes about your love life coming true. So your hopes and wishes are valid. Maybe your hopes and wishes involve reuniting with someone from the past, or perhaps, dealing with this heartache in an existing relationship. Your hopes and wishes can be manifested with the Star. Now, what's also interesting is you have two new beginnings here. It's the same card. The Ace of Pentacles is your repeat card. So there is kind of a strong energy of new beginnings for the sign of Cancer. And I do feel like for many of you, this can be a new love. Somebody different coming in for you. Since you do have, technically you have three new beginnings. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and then you have Judgment here. It can be maybe some of you are a little kind of afraid of letting somebody new in with the Nine of Wands, but you can also be afraid of letting in somebody who has hurt you from the past. So you have the Three of Swords here. So for those of you where you're kind of focusing more on an existing relationship or someone from the past, you know, there are new beginnings here for you as far as reuniting with someone or staying together with someone. But someone's also being like very protective, very on guard. And this can be the person who's doing a lot of thinking about you, you know, kind of deciding about the future of your relationship or your marriage. They're very much on guard as far as like, you know, what they're going to decide, what they're going to do next. But you do have a strong energy here of new beginnings, a lot of happiness, a clean slate for a relationship or a marriage, a new beginning. It's just someone is really, you know, trying to figure that out. I see it here, here, and here. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Okay, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what is going on between you and your ex for the month of January 2020. You did have a jumping card, and I wanted to show it to you because this card literally flew out of the deck and across the room. And the card that came up is the Page of Swords. So the pages do represent communication, and this does represent someone being completely and like utterly honest with you. It could be that you're hearing, you know, your Cancer might be hearing that someone has never forgotten you, they still love you. It can also be that you're speaking your truth to your ex. Let's go ahead and put this back in there. Show us the energies around Cancer and their ex for January 2020. Knight of Cups. Cancer and their ex for January. Seven of Cups. Six of Wands. Cancer and their ex for January. We've got Seven of Wands. Interesting. Cancer and their ex for January. Five of Wands, which was also in the first spread. Cancer and their ex for January. The Star, which was also in the first spread. Cancer and their ex for January 2020. Ten of Cups, which was the jumping card for the first spread. Cancer and their ex for January. Ace of Wands, also in the first spread. And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so pretty interesting. I did want to mention that you can also use the spread if there is no ex, like you basically, like there is no ex, you're coupled. This is still your reading for the sign of Cancer. You can also use this. Some people have told me that this resonates with their existing relationship. It can definitely help you. So again, if there is no ex, then this can, you know, definitely apply to a relationship that is already, you know, kind of in process, and this person is not yet your ex. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the first row. You have the Knight of Cups, Seven of Cups, and Six of Wands. So, you know, there is a lot of positive energy here as far as Cancer and an ex. You have this Knight of Cups, which is, I mean, this could be an opportunity to get back together. This is your relationship continuing to move forward. You literally have victory here. But just know that there is a whole lot of confusion, and this does take me back to that first reading that I just did for you. It's like someone just doesn't know. Like someone is highly confused, maybe about their feelings for you, you know, the future of your relationship. Like someone is completely lost when it comes to reuniting with you. But there is, you know, movement here, as if this person does want to reunite with you. This person does want to see your relationship move forward. There's victory here. It can happen, but there's just a lot of confusion. There's a lack of clarity with the Seven of Cups. Ironically, in the first spread, there was a lot of kind of soul searching with the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is truth and clarity. Now, you also have the Seven of Wands, Five of Wands, and the Star. So, you know, wanting to reunite with your ex, which a lot of people kind of ask me for the expert, like, why do you do the expert? I would never, we don't, you know, believe in taking back exes. I'm a Cancer, and I'd rather poke out both my eyes and reunite with an ex. But a lot of people, you know, do want to, you know, to have an ex back in their life. And this is exactly what you want to see, because the Star does represent your hopes and wishes as far as an ex manifesting, which would be getting back together. This also means that there's a lot of inner guidance for you. You have the Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands with it, though. So I feel like there is a lot of inner guidance for someone as far as reuniting with their ex. But some of these people may not truly be kind of connecting to that guidance. We have the Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands, which is a repeat card. This is someone feeling very conflicted. I definitely see somebody wants to reunite with you here, but they're lost, they're confused, they're conflicted. And some of you maybe, you know, you have the Seven of Wands here. There could be a chance to confront this person in January, because you did have I forgot. Yeah, the Page of Swords was the card that jumped for you, which is, perhaps someone really speaking their truth. This is that same energy. This is fiery energy, confrontational energy. It could be that maybe it was a very kind of painful, nasty breakup. There's a chance to confront this person. There could be, kind of a struggle going on here between you in the month of January. But again, there is a lot of confusion around Cancer reuniting with an ex. Now, down here at the bottom, it's important that this card jumped for you, because this card jumped for you in the first spread, the Ten of Cups, which is a happily ever after. And again, we're asking about an ex, but there's still a lot of happiness here for you. This is, a happy family. This can be marriage, children, but can also just be a very happy and fulfilling relationship. There's still, this energy of a new beginning around you. So you can reunite. This is starting over from scratch, a clean slate. But also for the sign of Cancer, you're being told, do what's best for you. Some of you may be kind of struggling here with the Five of Wands, conflicted about taking back an ex. Because maybe, once some things have been said, you can't take them back. That's it. But you're being told here, do what's best for you. If you feel really crappy about taking back an ex, then don't do it. If you feel like you need this person back in your life, then do it. This is saying just do what's best for you. Okay, let's get a few more. What other messages are there for the sign of Cancer about their ex for January? Seven of Pentacles. The Hermit. So you also had this in the first spread. And Temperance. So again, once again, you have that same message of there is a lot of thinking about you. A lot of thinking and a lot of soul searching. Like, what's really going on with Cancer here? How do I truly feel? I mean, the Hermit once again, which again, this can represent the sign of Cancer, Sagittarius, but this is someone who's trying to shed some light on, like, what's really going on? How do I truly feel? What is the truth? Someone is trying to figure this out. And also someone's trying to make a decision with the Seven of Pentacles. Now, you also have two sevens here, Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. The sevens represent decisions and change. Someone is trying to make a decision about you, but they are very lost. They're conflicted, maybe about reuniting with you. And they're trying to be very careful here with the Seven of Pentacles. They're very kind of undecided. That's why you had the Hangman in the first spread. So when it keeps going back and forth and kind of weighing the pros and cons of a reunion. And they're trying to really take things slow with Temperance here. It's also telling you to be patient. If you're eager to get back together with an ex, just know that there's very, very confusing energy around Cancer reuniting with an ex. Someone is lost, conflicted. There is a strong possibility here of a new beginning, because you also had a lot of new beginnings in the first spread. There can definitely still be happiness. Remember, this was the jumping card when we first started the reading. And I did hear the message, tears, overjoyed, complete. So some of you could be feeling like, we did get back together. We survived. We made it. You did have Judgment in the first spread. Just know that there's a lot of confusing energy. And things could take time with Temperance being here and the Hermit. Someone's trying to be very careful. It could be that they need to feel that they are ready for a reunion. But you also have the Star telling you that your hopes and wishes, as far as getting an ex back, they are valid. Okay, let's get a few more. Cancer and their ex for January 2020. Wow, so the Hangman again. Cancer and their ex for January. The Hangman. The Three of Pentacles. So just know that there's a lot of difficult energy as far as making things work with an ex. I mean, you have the Hangman, which is a repeat card because you just had it in the first spread. And the Hangman is telling you that there's just very stuck energy. In fact, here it is. I'll put it here. So the Hangman has come up twice. It's like you've kind of both hit kind of like a dead end. It could be that maybe neither one of you wants to apologize. Maybe neither one of you wants to kind of admit that it was, whoever's fault it was. The relationship is in limbo here. It's stuck. It's not moving forward. There's also an energy of just someone feeling very tired, just exhausted. The Ten of Wands is like it's an uphill battle. Someone just feels like just completely tired and drained. And again, this could be maybe they're tired of trying and they're doing a lot of thinking. They're lost when it comes to reuniting with you. Lost and conflicted. And they're really, exploring this. I do feel like this person is thinking about you. They're trying to shed some light on like what really happened. How do I truly feel? Do I want Cancer back? But there is, a burden here with the Ten of Wands. This is a burden that is strangling the relationship. It's weighing it down. And there has to be teamwork, the Three of Pentacles. But also, to me, the Three of Pentacles, it's teamwork. But it also means that a reunion, as far as Cancer and an ex, it's going to take a lot of effort. I mean, a lot of effort and then some. You're going to have to really work on this relationship, a lot of time, effort, to build it up again, because there is a lot of there is a lot of energy here where there's just kind of blocks when it comes to reuniting. The Seven of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Seven of Wands, now the Ten of Wands. I feel like someone is just very confused, like they don't know yet. There's a lot of emotional energy, and again, there is some type of burden around the sign of Cancer and an ex. There is a burden, something that is weighing the relationship down, that is keeping it kind of in limbo. But there is a need to work together here with the Three of Pentacles. Teamwork to rebuild this relationship. And I feel like someone is exploring with the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Someone is weighing their options, trying to decide, can I truly make this work with the sign of Cancer? Can we get back together? You're just being told here to be patient with Temperance. Okay, Cancer, this has been your reading for January 2020. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.